Dropped the old rear end off at Mosier. Said it'll be done in 3 to 4 days. Talk about good business. Hell yeah, can't wait to get this baby back. Get her put up in the truck. Pulling up to Mosier, boy. This place is pretty cool. Very nice facility. See if I can get a little video when I go inside there and grab the rear end. Alright, so I'm out here doing the maintenance on this truck. As you guys know, is rod bearings. So made it all the way through to 7 and 8, and they all looked fairly okay. I mean, some of them had some scratches, but nothing serious. And then you get to number 8, boy. Man. I don't know what, if the crank's walking or if the oil passage is plugged in the crank to number 8, which it didn't seem like it because it was doused in oil when I pulled it out of there, but she came off the crank, thank God, but it was very, very close to spinning, very close. I mean, it might have, it came off with the rod cap, but who's to say that which side was, originally put into the rod cap. And I'm hoping to just get a few more events out of it, 1, possibly 2, because I'll probably put new rod bearings in it again to go to the 41 drag strip in October. But, so this thing does not spin, and I don't lose all oil pressure, or at least a lot of it. I'm going to put a little bit of this high-strength Loctite, which is not recommended at all. This is a terrible idea, but it's going to keep this from spinning, hopefully. I'm just gonna put like 3 little dots on the rod cap to hopefully lock that bearing to that, which it'll probably bite me in the long run because if I change them again, I'm gonna have to get that off there. My dad said he's done this trick before, and he never pulled the rod cap back off. It's still in the truck, and he still has oil pressure. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might try to heat it up if I want to pull that bearing back out of there. Obviously, this rod cap's pretty well messed up. Well, I got a bearing in that one, but none of them look like that. It's just number 8 for whatever reason. And it didn't start knocking at that last dirt drag until like 2 races before the finals. It wasn't really knocking. It's not knocking. It's just like tick, 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 tick. It almost sounds like a loose rocker or a lifter, but it's not. It's definitely these. So I'm going to try this trick. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the ass, and yeah, I'll give you a little bit more of an update because right here the night before putting rod bearings in this thing, getting ready to go tomorrow, and this is the last step pretty much, so pick back up here in a minute. All right, so just to clarify, I put, Loctite on the, on the top side of the arch. So I actually put it in the rod cap and then pushed the bearing down into it. And it oozed a little outside. You just wipe that off, hopefully. I've never done this before, and then that should lock that bearing to that rod cap to where it will not spin, is what I'm hoping. Or it spins and then sends red Loctite dust all through my engine. But it's already seen a lot of metal shavings, obviously, so what's the worst that could happen? Gotta try something, right? Maintain oil pressure and hopefully last 2 of these rounds out there because I'm really wanting to get out there with these 390 gears and the new rear setup, which I'll show you guys here in a minute. Once I get these rod bearings in, I'm just letting this number 8 cap set up so the Loctite's hard on the rod bearing and everything. And yeah, I'll pick back up here in a minute. All right, I'll try to get a video under here without getting oil dripped on my phone because it's all over me. I really got to thinking, if the crank was walking, all of them would be just trashed. And I don't think I would have the oil pressure that I have because it still has, 35 to 45 pounds of oil pressure when I'm running. It's just number 8, really. And I don't know, I looked up in there because the rod cap even goes on a little weird, like it goes on harder than the other ones. There goes the oil drip. But does that rod look, I know it's hard to see, but I think that rod's kind of tweaked. You can kind of see a little bend, which would make sense why the rod cap goes on kind of hard. I was thinking that the main cap maybe got hot and warped, but that's probably not the case. I think that rod's just slightly tweaked. Either way, I'm gonna send it. Hopefully that Loctite deal works. About to slap the windage tray back on. I got all new rod bearings in her. Windage tray on, pickup tube on, which honestly didn't look that bad. There's a little bit of bearing material in it, but hopefully it's not all in the oil pump. But yep, pickup tube on, slap the oil pan back on it, hook up the feed in the drain for the turbo, put some fresh oil in it. I am gonna go with a little bit of a lighter oil because I usually run 2050 in it. My dad made a good point that maybe the oil's too thick and it's kind of starving from oil, so I'm gonna throw some 1540 in her. And yeah, keep on keeping on. All right, so I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown here because it's damn near 6 o'clock. I need to go inside and go sleep. I have the tank in the bed. I've got one strap on it. The other one for the right side over here is drying. I just had to paint it so it doesn't rust. All I did was shorten some lines. I still have the little canister tank so the evap doesn't freak out, but I had to lengthen my fuel lines and also lengthen the wiring harness for the sending unit right there. Wasn't no big deal, just a little time consuming. I did, as you can see, weld a little square tube on the plate down low to put my weight on. Oh, I'm gonna hop under here real quick. As you can see, boom, baby, got that new Mosier. It's narrowed 10 inches. It has Mosier 30 spine axles, 390 Yukon gears. It has the Detroit True Track, limited slip center section differential deal. Their cover has those cap studs to where it holds your caps on for you. I think that's pretty much it for the rear end. I'm just trying to do it real quick. I also got some QA1 double adjustable, 19-way adjustable on compression and rebound. Those were next to the rear end, probably the most expensive thing that I did on this whole little build thing here. As you can probably see, I got the whole, oh shit, I got the whole frame coated in POR 15. I did the rear end as well, and I also did up there in the wheel tubs, just because that was all bare metal. And plus that shit's pretty easy to put on. You gotta brush it on, but it ain't no big deal, it's pretty simple. And then back here you can see that little square deal that my weight slides down into. And yeah, I just put a bar across to give it some strength. Welded a plate out there to give it some strength as well. When I put the weight on there, it doesn't bow that piece. It is 3/8, but it's still, that's probably 200, 250 pounds, 300, somewhere around there on the lad upstairs. So, oh man. Yeah, when we put these QA1s on, we made our own shock tabs. Those ones are super long, which I hope they don't drag, but they shouldn't. It's a good 4 inches off the ground when you sit it on the ground. I did get the frame sliders on the rear. Just a little bearing deal that I welded to that plate up there across the back. I should have got a video before I set the bed on it, but I was just super busy in the mood, in the groove, putting shit together. But yeah, it's all grade 8 hardware, so hopefully none of this shit breaks. I did have to reroute my brake lines. I just ran the part that went to the rear end. I put it, drilled and tapped the crossover right there and just put it right there. Ran my brake lines out and around. Where is it? Up to the wheel. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. In a nutshell. It's a lot of work, but I think it'll be worth it. Those 390 gears are really gonna help me out. Man, those shocks are nice. Hopefully these shocks do too. Now I can make suspension changes and shit as the track changes. And yeah, this rear end is a nice piece too. Definitely shout out to Mosier for a quick turnaround and quality parts. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, I'll make a video of racing, and it's gonna be a big turnout hopefully, and hopefully we do well. Hopefully this thing gets off the line a little better. Not much time to spare. It's freaking what, 6:10. Wake up tomorrow and go racing, but hell yeah, brother, she's ready. This thing looks dope. It's got a little bit of squat to it. Can't probably tell in the garage, but not too much. And we got them meats under the bed. Freaking dope. And the 50's fixed. Shout out Geoff.